Hi guys, so my name is Alex Speir, and this is the Capstone project for AVIA 350 airline operations. So the purpose of this project was to take the information that we've learned out of the course of this term and apply it into this project in a practical way with figuring out weather alternate airports using the 1nav 2nav method. So we were given 5 questions to answer here, and so we're going to go through the 5 questions first. We're going to read them, and then we'll go through each one of them, and I'll tell you how I got the answer. So the first question, it says, for the purpose of determining a weather alternate airport, what is the forecast weather for Baton Rouge at our ETA? And we know our ETA is 1800 or 6 o'clock local time. Question 2 says, what are the lowest legal 1nav alternate weather minimums for Baton Rouge? And once we find those 1nav minimums, if they don't check out and they're not good, then we're going to have to use the lowest legal 2nav alternate weather minimums for Baton Rouge. Question number 4 says, is it legal to use Baton Rouge as an alternate? Why or why not? And then question 5 says, if not affected by the NOTAM, what would be the lowest legal alternate weather minimum for Baton Rouge? And so the NOTAM that we were given here says that the ILS 22 right glide slope is out of service. And it's also important to note that our aircraft were flying with a deferred flight director and autopilot. So question 1. For the purpose of determining a weather alternate airport, what is the forecast weather for Baton Rouge at our ETA? So we have a temporary weather information release here, and it says that on the 12th day of the month at 1800 to 2100, we have 1 statute mile of visibility, thunderstorms and rain in the area, broken at 500, and a scattered layer at 2000 cumulonimbus. Now we're trying to find a ceiling, so we know that scattered layer is not a ceiling, but broken is, so we're going to use 500. And we're going to need to plan for a weather alternate airport because the ceiling at our destination, being 500, is too low per the Liberty Airline FOM. Question 2 says, what are the lowest legal 1nav alternate weather minimums for Baton Rouge? Now, we're going to start here with the ILS localizer runway 13. And so for the 1nav method, we're adding 400 feet to the ceiling and 1 mile to the visibility. So for this one right here, we've got 601.5. For the ILS localizer runway 22 right, we have 810, 1 3/4. VOR runway 4 left, we have 951 and 2 3/4. And the VOR DME 22 right, we have 810 and 2 1/4. Now of these, we need to pick the lowest one, and that's going to be the one we're going to use for our 1nav method, and then we're going to compare that to our Liberty Airline FOM and see if we can fly it. So let's see, 601.5. So unfortunately, that's not going to make the cut because our Liberty Airline FOM says that we have to have 500 feet and 1 mile of visibility in order to fly the approach. So that being the case, we're going to have to move on to our lowest legal 2nav alternate weather minimum for Baton Rouge. So the ILS localizer runway 13 is what we're starting with here. And we're going to be adding 200 feet for the 2nav method and 1/2 mile of visibility. So for this approach, we're going to have 400 feet and 1 mile of visibility. For the ILS localizer 22 right, we have 610 and 1 1/4. VOR runway 4 left, 751 and 2 1/4. The VOR DME runway 22 right is 610 and 1 3/4. So what we're doing here is we're going to be taking the 2 lowest, and then of the 2, we're going to pick the highest. And so that's going to be the ILS localizer 22 right, which is 610 and 1 1/4. Now, is it legal to use BTR as an alternate airport for the flight? No, because the ceiling and visibility are too low. Per the Liberty FOM, it says that we have to have 500 foot ceiling and 1 mile visibility in order to shoot the approach. Well, our lowest approach here is 610 and 1 1/4 because of the NOTAM. We're not allowed to fly any of the other approaches. Now, if we were not affected by the NOTAM, what would be the lowest legal alternate weather minimum for KBTR, Baton Rouge? Well, that would be the ILS runway 22 right, and that's going to be 400 feet and 1. So if that was the case, we'd be able to make this flight, but unfortunately, that's not going to be the case. And again, we took this information here from the Liberty FOM.